earlier this week on Wednesday night. He's looking to right the ship and get back to those double-double numbers that make him the player of the year candidate that he is.
And it doesn't matter who you're playing against, what the opponent's record is. You need a guy like that to be at the top of his game this time of year.
When you've only had 2 conference wins in 2 seasons, it's going to impact your gait. But I will say, given the fact that it is senior day, and there are a number of old alums that I know you've run into and I've run into as well, this is a building that's got a little juice to it as we get underway. The opening tap controlled to the Friars. Veteran officiating crew, as you see Bryce Hopkins taking it inside. Lamar Simpson, Evan Burrows, and Tim Clockerty calling this afternoon's game.
Good matchup here. 2 brutes down low.
Yeah, boy, you could say bruises abound every time Croswell touches it, and Ezewiro is pretty thick as well.
Yeah, very, very underrated player, Ezewiro. But this is a Providence team that likes to focus on the paint early in the game. You saw that there, a miss, but a high percentage shot for Georgetown. You need to try to get this building into it, and there are a lot of people in this building.
There are. It was a late arriving crowd, but they're into it. There's an air ball thrown up by Ezewiro, but it's lost by the Friars. Good follow. By Jay Heath, padding his stats with an offensive rebound and a putback, and it's 2-0 Hoya.
Big time scorer too, Heath. He knows how to put the ball in the basket, so to get a layup early it just opens up your mind. It opens up psychologically the rim, if you will.
For those of you seeing Georgetown for the first time, and I know many of you are this afternoon, this is a team that individually has some outstanding talent. Chemistry has been their problem. Got so many transfers on this club. They've just not gotten used to playing with one another. And here is a offensive mistake by Providence as they don't get the shot off, a shot clock violation. As you look at Ed Cooley and talking to him, he said, you know what, there was a play after we'd made a run, cut it to a bucket. Then all of a sudden we foul on a 3-point shot.
Yeah.
And another foul on a 3-point shot.
Next thing you know, it's 10-point game.
And the building was just rocking at Campbell earlier this week. UConn did play. Tom Moore, I think, told you and others.
We had a conversation.
The assistant coach that was the best that UConn could play.
Yeah, post-game, he said, both ends of the floor, UConn they put it together. But that's what you have to do against a team like Providence.
Got to go up. Cook is cooking.
And those are the plays you have to make. If you're Georgetown, you're at home, you heard the crowd a little bit. They are, listen, this is still, regardless of what the record is, they're still the Hoyas. There's still a lot of pride in this town for this team. A lot of pride for these guys, all of them in their first year.
Bynum with a 3-ball.
Playing for the Hoyas, and that's big. Bynum's been one of those guys all season who's come up with big shots. You know, they missed him a lot when he was dealing with that sternum injury.
It killed them in January, really did. That was their most difficult of the season. Hopkins comes out to check Murray. Beautiful pass. That's just a thing of beauty. Count it. And a foul. Murray threading the needle of the LSU transfer out of Germantown, Maryland, and he gets it to Ezewiro, his old teammate from Baton Rouge, out of Torrance, California. And the 6'9" Soph gets it done.
I know you love talking about those Louisiana boys, so I'll stay out of your way. But really nice job, the 1-2 punch for these two. And Ezewiro, again, I love that he's in the starting lineup. There were times during the season where he was coming off the bench and played well off the bench. But when you want to get off to a really good start, I think you need him on the floor against a guy like Croswell early, and he's showing you that so far.
By the way, historically in the Big East, Georgetown, going back to Big John in their heyday, they love to go into Louisiana and get big-time talent. Dwayne Bryant, remember that name? Old player that came from my home state. And an answer from the perimeter again by Bynum. He's got 2 now from downtown.
He's really done a nice job leading this team throughout the season with making shots, but also his communication. There's Primo Spears getting downhill. That's where he's really, really tough. There's some good defenders on Providence team on the perimeter, but it's going to take everything to stay in front of a guy like Spears today. This is where you have to have some communication. Hard to go under a screen on a guy who just made a three-point shot. You got to fight your way around it and force him to put that ball down. Three-pointers can really hurt you early.
Hopkins picked up that foul. Ewing came out well dressed tonight. Patrick, of course, did so much for this program to get it the foundation of the beast of the East for Big John, who I referenced just a moment ago. Gotta wonder what's going through his mind at this time. Both on the floor right now. This is probably cathartic. Actually, coaching the game is probably the best thing that could possibly be happening for him.
Yeah, as a coach.
Anything else going on?
Yeah, coach and a player. 2 hours, you don't have to think about anything else but playing basketball and coaching basketball.
Hopkins with a steal. Those turnovers, unforced, many of them, have really been the bugaboo for Georgetown all year.
All season long. The last game as well against St. John's. You know, you fight your way back, but just the mistakes. And sometimes those, I call them pro bono turnovers, where they're unforced. You're giving the ball back for free when you really don't need to. And that was another example of that by Heath.
Hopkins, who picked up 2 very quickly, is going to take a seat now. And Clifton Moore will check in for him. Look at that work, though. Still so effective defensively, even after getting a couple of early fouls.
I tell you what, a couple of Ed Cooley's spirited practices will make you play like that when you start the next game. You never want to hear a coach in a press conference, a post-game press conference, say, let me tell you, practice is going to be fun this week.
There's the follow. And Guerrero with a big-time follow.
I love that kid. I love his game. I love how he fights, a little undersized, but makes up for it and how hard he plays.
Well, a timeout. The under 16 timeout taken. Beautiful work on the glass. Those second chance opportunities. Double deuce, Bradley Azuero getting it done.
Kids are so expensive, Dad. Now Katie needs braces.
Maybe try switching your car insurance to Progressive. You can save hundreds.
I don't know, Dad.
Maybe try switching your car insurance to Progressive. You could save hundreds.
It's a great idea, TV Dad.
But I said the exact same thing.
Someday when you're a father, you'll understand.
I'm his father.
It's not a competition.
Listen to your TV Dad. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save nearly $700 on average.
You've loved the movies. Now, put yourself in the center of the magic. The magical event of a generation is finally here.
Rated T for teen.
PlayStation.
Arby's new Steakhouse Garlic Ribeye Sandwich. Who knew the best thing to come from a steakhouse wouldn't even come from a steakhouse? Arby's did, that's who. Arby's, we have the meat.
The cloud makes it possible to expand your infrastructure, but to make it powerful enough to connect your data wherever it is, you need CDW and NetApp. CDW experts will work with you to understand your needs, then customize a NetApp cloud services solution to integrate data management for all your clouds, helping reduce spend, improve security, control data 24/7, and automatically detect anomalies. In the cloud, at least. NetApp makes efficient cloud management possible. CDW makes it powerful.
Introducing Astapro Allergy. Now available without a prescription. Astapro is the first and only 24-hour steroid-free spray. While Flonase takes hours, Astapro starts working in 30 minutes. So you can Astapro and go.
Fox College Hoops is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. 11-8, Georgetown with the early cushion. They've gotten it done with second chance opportunities on the offensive boards. And Ed Cooley, I thought for a moment I needed to correct our graphics department.
Yeah.
He had his player Hopkins out there with 2, and he picked up a third. And I have to give Paul Evans, our statistician, some credit. He's like, Bubba, no, that's 3.
3.
Not a couple, but 3. And it is. I'm surprised, even though, he sometimes is unorthodox in his approach with players, with timeouts, that kind of thing. That was incidental contact in a lot of ways, a cheapie to pick up.
But even more importantly, to not have him on the floor, because those do happen, and now you're at the mercy of the officials, and that's the right call. And not only does it change the complexion of this game right now, but you know, as long as he's going to sit there, there's going to be some stiffness over there.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
You know, now then how do you integrate him back in? But this is why Ed Cooley brings in 8 new guys. He has veterans. Clifton Moore obviously knows how to navigate on the inside, but it's a rotation that Ed Cooley hasn't had a lot, with Croswell and Moore on the floor at the same time.
It means also that guys like this, Carter and Locke, have to perform more on the offensive end, which they can. Carter's been just outstanding through the course of the year. You can make a case that one of the top newcomers in this conference. There he is. I think Carter thought he was going to get an opportunity. There's Bynum from downtown.
Yeah.
He's now hit 3 from beyond the arc, and that ties it at 11.
So Ed Cooley's like shooting, and the official points to the floor, and then Bynum hits the 3. He's like, okay, yep, play on.
That's a walk inside. Good defense as Jay Heath took the extra hop.
You mentioned it. Lamar Simpson, just an all-around Evan Burrows, Tim Clockerty. I think Tim Clockerty's dad officiated my game.
Yeah, John.
He and I'm sure a couple technicals.
He was the supervisor of officials in the ACC, the position that John Cal has here with the Big East.
Another guy who gave me a lot of technicals. It's a theme here.
Well, his son Tim is, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. He'll tee you up as well. But good officials. Carter on a straight line drive against the clock. Can't get it to go. Quick outlet. Spears.
A little off balance there, but
maybe a little tougher than he needed to.
Really gets downhill.
Bynum. Wheels it, and Carter is there for the full frontal flush.
So those are issues for Georgetown that are hard to, they're just hard to fix. You have to find a body. You can live with some of those, but some of those plays where you have to find certain guys, Carter's one of them. Extra effort guys, get in front of them.
First lead for Providence. They're letting them play, aren't they? A lot of contact underneath. Block. Look at that. Clifton, big time. Giving us a little bit more right there. Ambler, Pennsylvania. LaSalle transfer.
So now it's 2 offensive putbacks. Just, they kill you. They break your back.
And with authority, too.
Yeah.
With authority. And that's with your big guy sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
Inside, Ozarero working. I think Moore had him hooked that time. And he'll draw the foul. That foul goes on Clifton Moore.
Devin Carter known, I think, more coming into this season for his defense, but his athletic ability is second to none. You see it right there. Long arms, great timing. A lot of these guys don't get enough credit when you talk about their athleticism for having a knack for the game, having a high basketball IQ, and obviously coming from a basketball family. His dad played 13 years in the NBA, coaches for the Heat. He's in the building today, Anthony Carter. It's awesome.
That one won't fall for Heath. Out of bounds, last touch by Providence. Yeah, it's amazing when you run into those second, third generation guys. Man, all of a sudden they walk up, say hello. There he is.
Anthony Carter, terrific player at Hawaii. Just made a wonderful career in the NBA, 13 years, and still in there coaching. And just to grow up around that, just to have that resource that hardly any kids that you're going to be around the rest of your life, any people have that resource. It's just valuable.
Alan Breed is in for the first time. Number 0 in black. Roswell posting up and gets the contact from Ozarero and picks up the foul.
Yeah, a different lineup for Ed Cooley. And sometimes you can find out new things about your team even late in the season, a lot of times that comes through injuries, which you don't want, obviously, but through some foul trouble.
Yep.
That's a lineup you're not going to see a lot from the Friars, but they're hanging in there. They have guys who understand how to play in the system, and now it comes down to Ed Cooley saying, okay, let me trust this lineup. Let me trust certain guys for extended minutes.
Well, one of the things you've seen through the course of the year as Bynum sits down and Jaden Pierre comes in for the first time, as Aliro also sits down, you've seen Croswell become a better offensive player, a much better offensive player for this Providence team, especially in that high-low game between he and Hopkins. He missed a lot of bunnies earlier in the season, but he's been more efficient down there when he's gotten it of late.
You talk about second-generation guys. Ryan Mutombo in the game. His dad was a teammate of mine.
Well, you heard the crowd react as soon as he got in. Number 21 in gray.
I should say I was a teammate of his. Let me just correct myself. Him and Mutombo, I was a teammate of his. His team.
Beautiful move, and Carter connects. A lot of skill in that young man.
And only a sophomore. That's what I think surprises you when you look up and start to dig into where these players are from, how old they are.
Yeah, that's a moving pick that is whistled on Mozone, Bryson Mozone. What a move by Carter. Just a thing of beauty. Here it is.
Yeah, a little inside out, back to a crossover between the legs. Those type moves you work on, they're hard to really teach. And then finishing high off the glass and soft. Tough to defend. You switch, and now he recognizes the switch and just splits that defense.
Well, they work a little high-low with Moore now and Croswell. Mutombo checking Croswell. Pretty good work. Out to Carter. Nylon. You get he and Bynum going simultaneously. Friars become a tough cover.
They do, and obviously they're making shots. That's big, but with Carter's athleticism, he doesn't just need to shoot jump shots. And we saw that. Tip dunks. He's done a little bit of everything. To say scoring at all three levels, he can do that.
Mutombo comes away with a loose ball, follows his own shot, and that ends a 13-0 run for Providence as Mutombo pads his stats a little like Dad did back in the day.
It's a nice job keeping the ball high, understanding that I'm bigger than everyone, I'm longer than everyone. Don't bring the ball down.
Croswell.
Right now, Providence is just a step quicker. That's all it is. You know, there's been a few times Georgetown is just out of position. Not that they're not playing hard, they're just a step slow on the defensive end.
Yeah, no one's accused Georgetown of not playing hard for 40 minutes. They've done that all year. Very similar to St. John's in that respect. It's just that lack of cohesion that you look for when you have so many transfers in a patchwork offense. Well, you were talking about like father, like son. How about this?
Yeah, this is wonderful. Nice little put back by Mr. Carter. And then the three from downtown. Who's your daddy? Oh, there he is.
General Motors is going electric, and Netflix is joining in by including more EVs in their movies and shows. Least they can do.
So if you're going to get swarmed by an army of the dead, why not get swarmed in an EV?
No! I said no biting. Or if you're being voluntarily kidnapped, why not be kidnapped in an EV? What's that scent? Is it pine?
Now, should they add EVs everywhere? They shan't. They shan't. Is it shallant or shan't?
It's neither.
What about here, Erica?
You're ruining the show, you idiot.
What do you mean? It's me, Dusty.
You're not.
Yeah, you're right. This is ridiculous.
Tammy, wait!
Later, loser.
But anywhere else it makes sense.
There goes another runner.
Brad was so much better for you. You should have gone with Brad.
Yeah, Brad.
Are you serious?
Why not make more of those cars electric?
It's the least they can do. Gordon, you kill me. I mean, you literally did kill me. You know what? I'm glad you bit me, too.
The
pepperoni on Panera's new toasted baguette is sliced a little thicker to hold more flavor. So when fresh mozzarella melts over it, that detail will be big. Try the new toasted baguettes from Panera. $0 delivery fee for a limited time.
Break free from overpriced wireless with Boost Mobile. Switch to Boost and get a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone with the power of America's largest 5G networks. Switch to Boost and get a free Samsung Galaxy A23 phone. Boost Mobile. Unleash your power.
Your record label is taking off, but so is your sound engineer. You need to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Indeed Instant Match instantly delivers quality candidates matching your job description. Visit Indeed.com/hire.
Remember college? 5 Hour Energy got you through then. And now, we'll get you through again. Rediscover 5 Hour Energy.
It's New York night! Fox Wednesday, 2 new costumes take a bite out of the Big Apple.
There's a whole band!
And it's the first save of the season. Who will it be? An all-new Masked Singer, Wednesday on Fox.
23-13, Providence went on a 13-0 run to separate themselves, but a bucket from Mutombo helped stem the tide a bit. Let's go inside the huddle of Patrick Ewing.
They're being more physical than us right now. We got to match the physicality down here. They're down there. Play within yourself, man. Do what we need y'all to do. Stop breaking stuff off. Execute the play. Get where you need to get. Then if you're open, take your shot, but execute the play.
Yeah, 2 of the most important things you need this time of year: execution, stay with what you do every day in practice, and then you got to match the other team's physicality, especially a Providence team. That's their MO. It has been when I played against them back in the 1900s, Tim. It's been happening forever. No matter who's on the sideline, no matter what players are in those uniforms, it's a physical Providence team. You have to match that.
Energy, effort, those things are synonymous with Cooley coach teams. And frankly, for Patrick's team, I would say similar. The biggest difference is those little things, okay, about knowing where your teammate is. You know your personnel.
Yeah.
All NYP, you hear it all the time.
Those things. KYP. Well, if you're in, you run with my circle of friends, you say NYP, so you're fine. I totally knew what you meant. But it also helps trust your teammates as well, trusting that you know where they're going to be and they know where you're going to be.
I didn't win any spelling bees back in the day.
The sad thing is I knew what you meant.
Yeah.
We've been together too long.
That's true. Breathe! Rattles it home.
It really just is all the difference in the world for not just Providence, every team. If they're making threes early, it now extends the D. It opens up that paint. It opens up those lines to get downhill. Really at the mercy of that ball handling when that team's making threes.
Heath from downtown.
Needed it.
You know, if he, and I think this is true with most of Georgetown's players, including Brandon Murray especially, they see shots go down, they play better on this end of the floor. They just do.
Yeah, and coaches like to say you don't want one end to affect the other end, but it just does naturally. It affects players. You're playing poorly on one end, sometimes it leads into the other end.
Reed off the heel this time. Out of bounds, last touch by the Hoyas, so Providence will keep it on this end. And that's, I think, a byproduct of not having a pure point guard when you have lead guards, shooting guards in the backcourt.
And now you have to respect this because, you know, Locke's a great shooter. It makes you now suck in a little bit, and it leaves some breathing room for Breed to knock that down.
Primo Spears, in so many ways, is the closest thing to a point guard that Georgetown has. But, again, that ability to think distribution first is something that's failed him somewhat this year. Croswell, a beautiful pass by Bynum.
So now those are the little things that Georgetown has missed out on a lot this season. When you see a double come, the next guy behind defensively has to cut off that big. It's a simple basketball play, but those are those extra effort plays those miscues that they've had.
Well, there's another one, an unforced error by Heath, turning it over. Look out, block. Always thinking score first. Croswell there on the glass. Are you just padding his stats here? Along with Moses Malone on this one. Go back and get it. And a quick timeout taken by Ewing. And you can see the players with their shoulders shrugging now. He's got to do a little reinforcement of positive feelings here.
So take a look here, Tim. So now, Azawaro and Spears are there. So now Cook has to get down there. He has to cut off Croswell. And then here, Fo. Google that. All the young people, just Google Fo. Yeah. You'll understand what I'm talking about.
If you ever got the 2 eggs, the 2 bacon, and the two toast, it was 2. Somebody just go double and go Fo. Oh, goodness. You're right. We've been together too long. Croswell has really impressed me. His development over the last month has just been outstanding. Look, they're doing all this with Hopkins out with 3 fouls. You would have thought with him having to sit before the first TV timeout with 3 fouls that it would have affected Providence. It hasn't.
And Georgetown has just, they haven't found a way to attack Providence with Hopkins on the bench. And that means you throw the ball inside, you look for doubles, you play off of the passes inside. You know, a lot of it's been on the perimeter for them. Well, they just have to settle in a little bit. Still a lot of game, obviously, to play, but got to find a way, find a weakness in this Providence defense. Too much.
Yeah.
You didn't need the over the top, just too much pace on it.
It was recovered, but again, great defense inside. Azawaro could not get it done. End to end. The big fella was picking him up and putting him down, and the trailer got the slam. 32-16.
Great job by Clifton Moore to recognize Azawaro down. So run straight to the front of that rim. And Croswell, guys have had their heads up all day long for Providence. 8 assists. 13 made field goals.
Yeah, they're sharing it big time. And there's a foul on the dribble drive by Brandon Murray. But you're so right, when you've got a player down, you recognize you got a 5-on-4 the other way.
Extra effort plays here. I love that Azawaro gets it back, but how about Clifton Moore staying with it and then getting the block and running the floor at Croswell. Outstanding with bigs. We got to take care of one another. Little shovel pass and the strong finish. The Friars rolling here.
Scott, you know the rules. No shrinking and drinking, obviously. And do not give alcohol to the ants, even if they ask. Not a problem, Hank. Alcohol free.
Guys, come on. It's my last one.
You're never gonna finish that. Your eyes are bigger than your thorax. Good luck.
I like to move it. You like to move it.
We're reinventing our network.
Move it. I like to move it. I like to move it. I like to move it. You like to move it. I like to move it. You like to move it.
Fast, reliable, perfectly orchestrated. The United States Postal Service.
Hey, take a look at me now. Watch me standing out like a diamond in the crowd. Dance like nobody's around, 'cause I got my own style. Take a look at me now.
The car that says so much.
Just watch me stand.
Introducing the Toyota Crown. Toyota, let's go places.
This will be us on our dream date.
We share our favorite McDonald's order.
And we start with a cheers. The Cardi B.
An Offset meal.
Hey, man, you could save hundreds for safe driving with Liberty Mutual. They customize your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Woo! We gotta go again.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
This loss is 1,000,000% on me. I didn't have my guys prepared. I thought we were soft. I thought we were not connected, and I think the environment had a lot to do with that. So the $2 beers definitely worked. The white shirts definitely worked. That was one of Connecticut's best games from start to finish. Danny did a great job having his kids ready. My kids weren't.
Towards the end of that game, I think I suggested to you that I wouldn't want to be the next team on Ed Cooley's schedule, and that next team right here at Georgetown. Let's go in the huddle of Ed Cooley.
I like our pace, and we're sharing the ball. Keep sharing the ball.
Share the sugar.
Right? But we need multiple efforts defensively, and then we can get out and run. Make sure we play off the 2 feet and spray it. All right? Good job sharing the ball.
Did I hear a little Steve Lavin in there?
Yeah.
Someone,
I believe it was one of the assistants.
Ghost of Steve Lavin.
Might have been Blaney or Thomas. Well, but one of them said, we're sharing the sugar.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, you know, when you did mention that last game, you just to be the next opponent, but I think we also had the conversation about being in practice. There's those next couple of practices, and I spoke to 2 or 3 Providence players before the game today, and they said practice was something. That's about it.
Right.
And I could read between the lines, but if you're a Providence team and you lose like that, you lose pretty much at your own game to UConn. You gotta bring it back to the salient points. What's important? What are the things that got you to that point, and fix them? And then so far today they fixed them. Georgetown's not going to go away. I will say that. Hopkins still on the bench, so a great opportunity for the Hoyas to try to make a little run here, but it starts on this end with them.
They've been outscored 24-7 in the last 7.5 minutes. Good work defensively there by Ezewiro.
You just have to put some possessions together. Take care of the ball down here. There you go.
Nice little floater by Jay Heath, the Arizona State transfer from right here in Washington, D.C. He's got 7.
I really believe the way this Georgetown team is built offensively, when they get into trouble, they don't give each other enough space. The guys are kind of, whether it's they're trying to get ready to crash the glass or they're just coming to the ball, almost like that beehive offense. You don't need it. You got to get out of each other's way.
Doing great work by Croswell. His skill set with his feet near the basket really has improved.
I mean, take a look. This is the spacing I'm talking about here. No one's in the paint. You got guys moving and cutting on the weak side. Ezewiro taking up 2 bodies. That gives Heath an opportunity to kind of go to work. They need more of that. Not one-on-one necessarily, Timmy, but just getting out of each other's way and being ready to receive the ball when guys get to that space and the defense cuts them off.
The thing that you have to love about Croswell as Mutombo comes back into the game replacing Ezewiro is what he's done in Big East play on the offensive boards as well as the defensive boards. All 5 of his 20-point games have come in Big East play. And you don't think of Croswell as being a big-time scorer, but in conference play, when they've needed him most, he has really stepped up.
You know, you don't really get a sense of this when you watch the games, but Croswell is one of the meanest players you will ever meet. He really is, in a good way. You get him off the floor, you have a conversation, one of the nicest kids in the world.
Another unforced error and turnover by Georgetown. Moore comes outside now and decides to post up on Heath. Anthony down and Cook clear.
Yeah, I don't care for that shot because you have such a size advantage over Heath. Maybe 1 or 2 more dribbles.
Murray off the heel. Croswell quickly to Locke. Bynum is left free for 3. Croswell again. That's that bruiser mentality.
Boy.
And another opportunity means Locke is locked from downtown.
Ed Croswell just has a knack for not only chasing the ball, he keeps his eye on the shot. And a lot of okay rebounders, mediocre rebounders, they work to get the ball. They do a good job with that. But he watches it from when it leaves the shooter's hand to now into his hand. Big.
Yeah, they needed it again. Primo Spears with an answer after the turnover. Now 37-23. I can't help thinking this as I watch the way these bigs have performed with Hopkins sitting down. that Patrick Ewing must be saying, God, I love the way this front court for Providence, plays together.
Yeah. Well, again, you can tell they enjoy playing together, and it's a tough thing to do with 8 new players.
There's the dump down. And again, for them to be this cohesive this soon is remarkable. Shot clock down to 2. Just as I say that, they turn it over. Spears with a run out. And Primo brings them to within a dozen with 5 minutes plus to play in the first half.
I love how responsive the crowd is, though, for good plays, the steal, the layup. This Georgetown crowd they're ready. They want this team. They're still supporting them. I'm impressed by that. You have 2 wins in conference play, 3 in the last 2 seasons, Tim, and they're still here.
Responding to that rejection by Mutombo, bringing back some memories of rejection row. Spears gets the pick from Mutombo.
Well, you went back. Rejection row.
How about that? Heath can't get the runner to fall. Carter, free lane, rejected again by a Cook. Somebody's got to get over there. Not in time. And it's pulled away by Brandon Murray. All the way. Leaves it for a Cook. Rejected by Croswell. All leather. Fire him the other way. Hello. How do you do, Mr. Croswell?
Wow.
How big of a play was that?
You talk about. Now, twice we've seen it. Clifton Moore earlier gets a block, comes down, gets the dunk. Ed Croswell, anything you can do, I can do better. The block, and then the wherewithal to know my little guy is going to find me or I'm going to find an offensive rebound. Friars rolling.
At Jersey Mike's, they slice your order fresh right in front of you. And let me tell you, watching that can send a rush of emotions through a person. Excitement, impatience, baby-like wonder, indecisive, anticipatory chewing, nervous pacing, happy claps, and finally, jealousy, because that's this guy's sub. I should order one. Good idea. Sliced right in front of you. The Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
Invention is an act of determination to go where you couldn't before. Achieve goals that once felt out of reach. That's why Honda engineers didn't just redesign the Pilot Trail Sport. They built the most off-road capable Honda SUV ever. The all-new Pilot Trail Sport, part of the Honda line of rugged vehicles.
You go by lots of titles. Veteran, son, dad.
It's time to get out.
No.
Hairstylist, and cheerleader. So adding a student title might feel overwhelming. What if a school could be there for all of you? Good to see you. Career, family, finances, and mental health.
It's coming along.
Well, it can. National University, supporting the whole you.
So you weren't seen by anyone? Yes. Yes, you weren't seen by anyone? Or yes, you were seen by someone? Yes. Very good. Carry on.
Operation Fortune, rated R.
Get fast relief of your worst allergy symptoms, including nasal congestion with powerful Claritin D. So you can breathe better, feel the clarity, and make today the most wonderful time of the year. Claritin D.
Fox College Hoops is sponsored by Jeep. There's only one. Is that Zach? I think that's by Jack. Jack! That's Jack the Bulldog.
That's Jack.
Making his way in.
The flesh.
And let's take a look at the Big East top 5 as we approach tournament time, right? Marquette, number 10, and with a bullet, look to be the regular season champions. They're certainly in the catbird seat. Xavier is 16. Providence, having dropped that game earlier this week, is down to 12-5. Creighton now has dropped a couple games in a row and are 12-6. And the Huskies, probably the most complete game they played, coming off that victory at home. They, too, had a tough stretch after getting as high as number 2 in the country earlier in the year and 14-0. And so when you think about where these teams are, the tournament resume for this Providence Friars team has them, according to Mike DeCourcy, in the 8th seed position. So, historically, that would tell you that if you're Ed Cooley, you want to do one of two things here. You'd really like to get that seeding up to about 7 or 6 because the percentages of winning your first-round game and advancing to the Sweet 16 are far better when you don't have to play a 1 seed in the second round.
Yeah, you're right about that. The numbers don't lie. I will say, knowing Ed Cooley, he's thinking, look, if you're going to be the best, you got to beat them at some point.
Yeah.
And I would think earlier is probably better. You have a better chance of beating, but you're right. You're not going to lose to go the other way. So you really better try to find a couple of wins just to get out of that position.
You're in that 8-9 game. You're hoping to see a 1 seed that is the most vulnerable.
I don't want to see Alabama.
No. I don't think you want any part of that.
Ever.
Yeah. They're pretty athletic.
I'm rooting for everybody to beat them. If I'm in the tournament, you're hoping someone beats them before you have to get to them.
Bynum will trigger it back in. Hoyas have made enough key shots once down by double digits by 16 to hang in there, but they really need a good stretch here to close out this half, maybe get it down to single digits.
Yeah, this has to be a 3-minute game for Georgetown.
Carter. Nice work by Mutombo since coming in. He's been very active on the glass. Spears, a little whirling dervish. Oh, he willed that one in off the front iron. 39-27. He's a pure scorer, no question.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to figure out how to be, I wouldn't say a point guard, but a combo guard.
Yeah.
That's a tough balance. Wow.
Great pass inside. Bynum.
It's just great work on the baseline between the two bigs as well.
Yeah.
And understanding Bynum knows when to score. He's done a nice job. Early season, he struggled, trying to figure out when to score, when to be a passer. He's figured that out.
Here's with that floater that didn't go. More and more you see these quick possessions for Georgetown and longer ones for Providence. That's great work defensively by Mutombo, getting the walk from by Breed. So he turns it over by getting the tie ball here.
How about this top shelf move by Primo? Primo means top shelf.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I mean, that's just the body control to finish high. It's so difficult to stay in front of him when he gets going downhill.
Cook off the dribble handoff. Carter clears for Providence.
It's been a challenge for a Cook. You know, he's normally that 3-ball corner pocket type guy. He likes the corner threes better. Patrick's tried to move him up and get him out of those corners this season.
Breed with a little teardrop that won't go.
Fortunate Georgetown. No one stepped up. That's when you need a guy to step up, take a charge, get in the way. So fortunate that ball's going their way.
Pierre and Locke check back in. Bynum and Breed will sit down. Ed's going to talk to Breed just a little bit, do some coaching over there.
You heard a little bit of it. You're so good of a player, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure I ever heard that from my college coach.
Mr. Calhoun.
Until years after I left.
Yes, didn't pass along those pleasantries.
No, not in the game. You kidding me? It was more, you're not as good as you think you are.
Mazzone came off dead off the back rim. Carter quickly gets it up the floor. Croswell with a Cook on his hip. That's just a thing of beauty. He can't be stopped down there.
I mean, he's just making grown-up moves all game long. They're just.
Rafael Castro's also checked in, number 30. So they've gone as deep into that front court as you can. And here's another steal and dunk for Carter.
Again, you got to be aware when you're passing the ball. You have to see, as a guard, as a perimeter player, and really every guy on the floor for Georgetown, you got to see what's behind your teammate when you're going to make that pass.
Another rejection, this one by Castro. And that's exactly what you didn't want to see if you're a Hoyas fan. They needed to make a run from down 12, and instead it's Providence it's running away.
Riley's got to know to see what's coming from behind. And there really aren't many weak spots for Providence defensively. Even Castro comes in, doesn't play a ton of minutes, but gives Ed Cooley great minutes when he's in.
He's coming off a redshirt year. He could be around for a long time.
The length, the athleticism.
Again, some work on the offensive glass. Taken away yet again by the Friars. Croswell never stops running. Blocked that time. The Hoyas knock it away. But give it up yet again as the clock winds down. Castro on the offensive glass. Now numbers. Primo with a 3-on-1. Disrupted beautifully by Pierre. Well, those 3-on-1s you've got to convert. Carter in traffic, and he's fouled.
Wow. And really kind of tells the story, that 3-on-1 break of Georgetown's season.
Yep, it really does.
You got numbers, things look good, and then a deflection and a turnover.
Did you hear Ed Cooley? That's one shot I want.
Yeah.
Just one shot, for crying out loud. We didn't need it.
I just got to say, Michael Graham walked by me and hit me on the shoulder.
There he is. I see him walking.
It still hurt a little bit, actually. Tim, it still kind of bruised me a little bit.
Look at that.
I mean, that's just terrific play by Pierre, getting the deflection, 3-on-1.
I mean, he only had the 1 year with Patrick. It was a great year, though, that 84 season. That 84 season, I will never forget Michael Graham. And we have come to the intermission. 46-27.
A little bit more communication and just move better without the basketball.
How about Croswell? His line, he played all 20 minutes of the first half. He's on his way to a double-double, 15, 9, and 5 dishes to go with it.
Yeah, when things are good, they're great. Especially for a guy like Ed Croswell, plays really hard. You know, you wouldn't know that he's got this mean streak in him because he's always smiling and he's always just one of those guys as a leader that no matter how things are going, he's always going to take that bright side and he's always going to be positive, and he needs that. You need that for your leaders on the road.
And that meant that Hopkins could be a assistant coach since the under 60 timeout.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
Right.
Because his teammates picked him up. Carter was also outstanding along the perimeter. By the way, that mirror does belong to our stage manager.
I don't
for the record.
That. I don't believe that. I saw you pull that out of your... Why are you lying to people at home? Pulled it right out of his bag. I saw that.
Let that be a footnote to all you young broadcasters out there. Always
bring a mirror.
Carry a mirror with you.
Yeah.
Ensure the tie straight. Phil for that man right there. So many things must be going through his mind, trying to get his guys on their day. This is senior day. He's got a good crowd on hand. Yeah. I'm sure he wants to see them make a nice run here in the second half. Patrick Ewing is forever etched in the history of this proud program in its history. Croswell with a little finger roll to get it going. His bucket's just coming too easily, and it's interesting that the biggest problem the Hoyas have had, particularly these last 2 years with only 2 conference wins after winning the tournament back in 21, has been their defense.
Yeah.
Interior defense especially. And a little bit of an answer there as Primo launches from downtown. 48-30.
And no Wahab. You know, we talk about what's going on in the interior.
Yeah. No Kudus Wahab.
Get a little thinner, and Azuaro, as much as he gives you physically, he just doesn't have the length.
Boy, does Croswell ever stop working? He had a bad angle. He was underneath the basket. He just kept on working, trying to use the angle that he had, that bruiser mentality that he has inside.
Loves the contact. That's what you get from Ed Croswell, is he loves to mix it up.
Azuaro picks up the foul, his third. It was during that Big East tournament in 21 when Kudus Wahab really took off. Had just a tremendous tournament that season, and certainly the proudest time for Patrick during his 6 years as the Georgetown coach was that surprise they pulled off in 2021.
Bob transfers to Maryland. It's, really a great learning moment, and the grass isn't always greener on the other side. And I thought Wahab came back and really lost a lot of traction.
He did. Heath. Nylon.
Nice job. What we talked about in the first half, obviously sharing the ball. I don't think that's an issue for Georgetown. I think these guys like playing with one another. Player hits the floor, everyone goes over to help him up. But staying out of each other's way, making the extra pass, they need more of that.
Spears on a blow-by is rejected by Croswell again.
You're really at the mercy of Primo Spears when he is got you on your heels. Even Bynum, who's a pretty good defender, but when a guy that with that speed comes at you and you know he's just so nimble, it's really hard to stop without fouling.
Little ball movement here. Murray. This is off the heel. Good save by Cook. Primo again. Great ball rotation that time after a Cook chased down that rebound.
It's something we didn't see a lot in the first half. Chasing down a 50-50 ball, coming up with it. And the smart play by a Cook was he didn't try to dribble it. He caught it and threw it right out. And they had numbers from there. Again, the spacing was great. The extra pass, give up a good shot to get a great one.
Well, about 100 seconds into this half, Georgetown in the middle of a 9-1 run. And looking to push it and push it good here. Look up. Heath eating up. And a timeout taken Providence. And they're on their feet at the Capital One Center.
I love it. I know you like salt and pepper, not just you and I sitting next to each other, but push it real good. And good things happen when you're the Hoyas, sharing the ball, knocking down some shots. Don't go away, folks.
You're so hip. You're so hip.
I am.
Why are there 2 extra seats? Are we getting a dog? A Great Dane? 2 Great Danes. I know. Giant Uncle Dane and his giant beard. Maybe a dragon. Oh, dragons are boring. Twin sisters. And one is a robot and one is a knight. And I'll be on the side of the octopus.
The Volkswagen Atlas. More room for possibilities.
How can you be sure you're getting the right deal?
I have to talk to my bestie. This one's like your last boyfriend. It's got issues.
For the right used car, just say, show me the Carfax value. You'll get the most accurate price based on the vehicle's accident history. Shop at the all-new Carfax.com.
I'm at the swing joint telling people that Geico has been offering savings for over 85 years. That's longer than the buffalo wing's been around.
Dozen wings.
And did you know that Geico offers motorcycle insurance? Oh, my lips are burning. No, my lips are actually burning.
Geico. Over 85 years of savings and service. See how much you could save at geico.com.
It's too hot. Oh, this is too hot, mate.
This would be us on our dream date.
We share our favorite McDonald's order.
And we start with a cheers. The Cardi B.
An Offset meal.
It's the most wonderful time.
Get fast relief of your worst allergy symptoms, including nasal congestion with powerful Claritin D. So you can breathe better, feel the clarity, and make today the most wonderful time of the year. Claritin D.
Can't say enough about the resilient effort.
Dante Harris picks Zagorowski's pocket, gets to the hole, and lays it in. The Georgetown Hoyas are Big East Tournament champions.
When Patrick Ewing was telling the ushers in Madison Square Garden, this is my house, came in and got the victories, played an extra game to do it, and here he is now in what may well be, potentially, a final opportunity to coach in this building for Georgetown. His team is making a strong run right here. They are. And they haven't given up at all.
Yeah, you can see signs of guys quitting. I haven't seen it from the Hoyas.
No.
I really haven't. When guys hit the floor and they help one another up, 2-3 guys run over, when they make the right play, extra passes. And I think, Pat's dealing with the opposite of what Ed Cooley is dealing with. You get new guys in from the portal, trying to put them together, it's hit and miss.
Yes, it is.
It really is it's almost like a crapshoot.
Well, a lot of programs struggle when you go to the portal. Look at Ohio State this year.
Absolutely.
Over in the Big Ten. Listen, Chris Holtmann is a fantastic coach. He didn't suddenly fall off a turnip truck when he had a bad year in Columbus. It is perilous to go through the portal to the extent that some of these programs have.
It's a gamble.
And again, it underscores, the Cooley experience being as good as it has been.
They've won the lottery.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Ed's hit the number that he's put down, and Georgetown is. Well, they've struggled to kind of get there.
But you've been around this business as a player and now as a broadcaster. What would be your recommendation right now for Patrick moving forward from here into New York in just a few days to get this program in a position, maybe not to do exactly what they did in 21. That would be hard to accomplish, but to just represent what Georgetown basketball wants to represent.
Forget about everything that happened before today. When you get to tomorrow, you got to forget about everything that happened before and now take it as a new season and harken back to what you did a few years ago in the Big East tournament.
Yeah, Dante Harris just went off.
Yeah.
He absolutely went off in that tournament. And they had a good draw, too. Spears knocks it down. Listen, you recall they got Villanova, a good matchup for them, and Villanova was reeling a little bit.
Yep.
Knocked them off in the second round, and then it was off to the races.
Everybody wants Georgetown to succeed. I don't care where you are, what school you went to, everyone in this conference.
What a defensive move by a Cook, but Croswell just stays with it. And, his power, Croswell's power, knocked the Cook back even after the rejection, so he had plenty of room to go back and dunk it through.
I mean, he's got 20 and 11 rebounds, and we're 15 and a half minutes until the end of this game.
Cook. Rejected by Moore. And the follow as Awiro. Boy, they're letting them play. That one was hard to believe. A lot of contact there. Here's a steal by Heath. Out to Awiro, and another steal by Carter. Just a return to sender, and here's Bynum for three.
Again, you feel for Hoyas, the Hoya fans, this entire program. When plays like that happen, you think you got a dunk, it gets blocked, you think you get fouled, you go down, turn it over, and then a three-pointer. Really a microcosm of what's happened most of the season for Georgetown.
Yeah, and whenever we've had that frenetic pace in loose ball situations and dribble drives, Providence has come out victorious, it seems. I did think there should have been a foul down there. I really did. More than just a little bit of contact.
Maybe officials have flights to catch like you.
Well, they're certainly not counting. We're certainly not seeing flops being called.
No.
Remember that when that was a point of emphasis?
Oh, gosh. And I'm not even sure why that was. If none of them are being called at this point, it just. Yeah, I've said this before. The officials are already in a box. You put them in an even tighter box when you make them call those flops. Our officials deserve better than that. It's a hard game to officiate already. Every year it gets harder and harder.
And, of course, by the time we get into the NCAAs, another adjustment has to be made because NCAA's selections of officials work outside the conferences, and more outstanding play in this one from Locke. Just another one of those guys that you can forget about.
Yeah.
He can fill it up.
He's done a nice job of becoming an all-around player, more of just a jump shooter this season.
Well, he just handed it right to Bynum that time, Spears. Another rejection. Guys hit the deck. Bynum checking his wrist. Croswell right where he wants it, and he's fouled. This game is not for the faint of heart, particularly when you get into the painted area. This is the Bruisers League right now.
Known as a loving parent, Known for lessons that matter. Known for being a free spirit. No one wants to be known for cancer, but a treatment can be. Keytruda is known to treat cancer, FDA approved for 16 types of cancer. One of those cancers is advanced non-squamous, non-small cell lung cancer, where Keytruda is approved to be used with certain chemotherapies as your first treatment if you do not have an abnormal EGFR or ALK gene.
Keytruda can cause your immune system to attack healthy parts of your body during or after treatment. This may be severe and lead to death. See your doctor right away if you have cough, shortness of breath, chest pain, diarrhea, severe stomach pain, severe nausea or vomiting, headache, light sensitivity, eye problems, irregular heartbeat, extreme tiredness, constipation, dizziness or fainting, changes in appetite, thirst or urine, confusion, memory problems, muscle pain or weakness, fever, rash, itching or flushing. There may be other side effects. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions, including immune system problems. If you've had or plan to have an organ or stem cell transplant, receive chest radiation, or have a nervous system problem.
Depending on the type of cancer, Keytruda may be used alone or in combination with other treatments, and is also being studied in hundreds of clinical trials exploring ways to treat even more types of cancer. It's true. Keytruda from Merck. See all the types of cancer Keytruda is known for at Keytruda.com and ask your doctor if Keytruda could be right for you.
I can't believe this is how you kids talk to your friends. This is talking. Did you have a nice day? Look at the size of these butterfly shrimp. Ginormous. Butterfly shrimp? What? Now she's talking.
The NASCAR Cup Series is on Fox. The best drivers on the planet take on the controlled chaos of Fontana. Let's go! Coverage begins today at 2:30 Eastern on Fox.
Welcome to the Big East Tournament.
Time onions. It's almost here, the Big East Tournament from the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden. We open it up with count them three on FS1 on March the 8th, and it'll be streaming live on Fox Sports' app. And right now, if season were to end now, those would be the matchups. And I got to tell you, after seeing Villanova just a few hours ago, oh my.
Yeah.
Look out for them if they were to match up with the Friars on day 2 in the quarterfinals. That would be some game. And that you can say that literally about everyone in the league. St. John's, hard to believe they have not been to the semifinals since, I believe it's 01. Yeah. And you would think on the floor that they are comfortable on. They play a number of their own games there. And they're a dangerous team, too.
Yeah, they are.
They always are this time of year.
I will say this. Unless they're playing UConn, basically, that's a home game for them.
It is.
The following, for years, for as long as they've been in the Big East.
Providence shows up, too.
And Providence shows up. But it is a home away from home. For I would say the fan base who shows up at MSG in the Big East tournament for UConn is better than the fans that show up in Hartford in terms of the noise and the energy and the emotion. Nothing really compares to Gamble Pavilion, but when they travel to MSG, it is a home game for UConn. So that's a tough out against them.
They use vacation time to come to Madison Square Garden that particular week. I mean, people have planned on it. They booked their rooms. They're fired up, lathered up by the time they get to the building.
Yes, and they are trying to make up for lost time when they were in the AAC.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
But I have a problem with that promo, though, because I only heard Big Daddy B say, bingo. They didn't run the bango and bongo. So if I'm your agent, I have a problem with the people in L.A., whoever's doing those promos, Tim. Get on it, people. Come on, L.A.
I may have to talk to some people.
Absolutely.
I may have to talk to some people.
All three.
Here's Murray at the free throw line. You know, you just keep giving the Hoyas a puncher's chance with this much time left because they've not stopped competing hard. And in those moments when they've had the 10-0 or 12-2 runs, they've gotten there. But then those loose ball opportunities and unforced errors by turning it over have once again been their undoing.
Yeah, the problem for Georgetown is really what's their identity? You know, trying to figure out who they are. Everyone you talk to says they have talent offensively, but at this stage of the game, how do you play? You can't play slow because they just have motors. You can press. You can't play too fast because Providence has shown in this game today that they want to play fast.
Bynum, he is just on fire from downtown.
Yeah.
Up to 15 now, and he hasn't been hunting shots. They've just come to him. 5 out of 10 from downtown for Jared Bynum.
I think at this point, Providence wants to move the Big East tournament to Washington, D.C. in this building at this point.
Murray. Oh, the iron unkind to Murray. Here comes Bynum, deep down the floor. Another 3-ball drops, this time for Allen Breed. He had a poor performance in that game Wednesday at UConn. Only 2 out of 6 from the floor. Only played 16 minutes. This is just the kind of game that Ed Cooley wanted to right the ship after that loss to Connecticut.
Yeah, Noah Locke is so good from those corner threes.
Yeah.
Understands.
He and Breed
has such a great release in transition. But this team understands who they are. They trust each other. Here, there Bynum knocks it down. The extra pass and then 3-ball corner pocket.
Oh,
Noah Locke.
The cloud makes it possible to expand your infrastructure, but to make it powerful enough to connect your data wherever it is, you need CDW and NetApp. CDW experts will work with you to understand your needs, then customize a NetApp cloud services solution to integrate data management for all your clouds, helping reduce spend, improve security, control data 24/7, and automatically detect anomalies. In the cloud, at least. NetApp makes efficient cloud management possible. CDW makes it powerful.
T for teen.
PlayStation.
Remember college? 5-hour energy got you through then. And now, we'll get you through again. Rediscover 5-hour energy.
Here's a little tip for all you aspiring fishermen. The easiest way to catch wild, humongous, already deep-fried fish is with $5 in your wallet and a brown paper Arby's bag. Arby's, we have the meat.
People remember ads with a catchy song. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance, here's a little number you'll never forget.
Customize and save.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Seek excellence. Seek purpose. Seek answers. Seek truth. Seek something more. Providence College.
Let's take a journey.
I want to see what they saw. We're fixing to get filthy, stinking rich, boys.
He's refusing to stop.
Has anybody else been fired recently?
Okay, here we go. Welcome to Fox Nation.
Fox College Hoops is sponsored by Jeep. There's only one. If you look at our game summary here at the Capital One Center, Friars lighting it up now, a 60% clip from downtown. Add to that the incredible play of Croswell inside throughout. And Bryce Hopkins, saddled with foul difficulty, sat most of the first half. You'd never know it by looking at the numbers.
And this is one of those touchy situations. You know, Ed Cooley wants to get Bryce Hopkins back involved, but this game has really been about the three-point arc. You could pick a lot of things out, and I'm sure they will in some game tape, the Friars staff, but knocking down outside shots early makes everything easier, runs smoother, creates lines of driving to the basket. It's just so many things you benefit from, and now it makes you feel good on the defensive end as well.
And another steal. Spears just threw it right into the hands of Carter. And there's Hopkins on the other end.
How about the job of Devin Carter to get Bryce Hopkins involved? Probably could have gone himself, maybe thrown up a floater, but again, another situation where this team, you can tell they care about each other. They love playing together, sharing the ball, and they know he's been on the bench a long time. Get him back involved.
Well, good run off the ball that time. Still nothing doing inside. Croswell just gets in the way. Malcolm Wilson unable to get it where he wanted. He's getting a little playing time now. Wayne Bristol Jr., 31 in gray. Dealing with that big time talent inside Croswell. Here he goes again. He's rejected. What a foul. Carter in transition is just, it's like watching the Roadrunner in action, and Wile E. Coyote just can't get there in time.
Really nice job of keeping his eye on Hopkins as he's running to see if Hopkins was going to keep running towards the rim or he was going to flare out. Sometimes players just assume, and then their teammate flares out and you throw that ball away.
Well, he has been just magnificent today. 22 points. And again, asserted himself from the moment Hopkins left the game, which we were barely 4 minutes deep when he picked up his third foul. Lead has mushroomed to 27 now. Primo looking to make something happen on the switch against Hopkins, and he gets it to go.
Yeah, does a nice job of that 15-foot area, gets you off balance. And the only problem is it takes so much time off the clock in a game where you're trying to dig yourself out of a hole. It's 2 points, but you've taken most of the shot clock to get that shot off.
Alley-oop for Carter, disrupted inside, and here comes Heath the other way.
You need quick baskets in Georgetown.
Well, it's going up when either number 1 or number 5 have it. It's going to go up.
And the difference of, we talked about this a little bit earlier, Timmy, is when players have quit, when they've said, all right, this is who we are, you don't see an extra pass and then a teammate reaching out, giving the other one some dap for making a good pass.
Yeah, their hearts are in the right place, no question. And it's a credit to Patrick and his staff to keep them feeling that way and playing that way, even though they have had a hard time winning conference games as Croswell does the job inside. How about that little ball fake to get Malcolm Wilson up in the air? 71-47, and the numbers continue to grow, up to 25 now for Croswell. He's on his way to a career high. Heath regathers. And Primo now working on Bynum. A fun little matchup. There is a foul, and he'll get to the free throw line. Like that. Croswell, again, we touch so often about what he's been able to do through the course of the game. Here he is putting it on the deck and showing you some dexterity.
This is called adulting. This is a grown-up move. This is what I'd call that.
That looked like Hopkins rather than Croswell.
Yeah, it did. Went through the legs, gave the little body.
By the way, you know, Georgetown, first time I got to call one of their games, they played their home games in Landover. At the Cap Center. Okay, and here we are, decades later, and we're at the Capital One Arena. I'm guessing there's a few announcers that have said the Cap Center. Since they renamed it from the Verizon over to Capital One. I saw that yesterday driving in from Philadelphia after our game at Villanova. I was like, oh, it's the Capital One Arena now.
You hope there are a few that are saying the Cap, because that would mean you're not the only dinosaur that's still around.
Ain't that the truth?
But not only,
that building. That'll get them on their feet.
Yes, it will.
Malcolm is the man right now.
I played in that building as well, Timmy, so look.
I actually called an ACC tournament there way back in '87. Yep. Maryland and Georgetown were always, everybody was talking about those two teams throughout the years. And so both leagues, the ACC and the Big East, wanted to get a game in the old Cap Center. A foul off the ball.
Well, you talked about guys are still playing hard, playing together. Sometimes you get in games like this, you want those inspiring plays, just enough to say, come on, guys, look, 8 minutes to go. You never want a team to give up 21 points down. Yes, the momentum is towards the Friars, but you have to stay as positive as you can, and plays like that will help.
It does. Bynum got that foul, which gave Georgetown an opportunity to knock down another triple, and Heath did the job. And now here are the Hoyas again on an 11-2 spurt over the last 2.5 minutes. Are we looking at the clock here, or are we like they're going to take a look, maybe the shot clock and the game clock, and we'll use the media timeout to take care of whatever the clock situation is. 71-53, Providence in control.
And tonight's winning number, 43.
43?
We
won!
Yes!
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. When you gotta get it done, just one sheet is all you need. Because one sheet of Bounty absorbs more than theirs, so you can use less.
I'll hold on to that.
Get the job done with what? Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
General Motors is going electric, and Netflix is joining in by including more EVs in their movies and shows. Least they can do.
So if you're going to get swarmed by an army of the dead, why not get swarmed in an EV?
Ew! I said no biting. Or if you're being voluntarily kidnapped, why not be kidnapped in an EV? What's that scent? Is it pine?
Now, should they add EVs everywhere?
They shan't. They shan't. Is it shallant or shan't?
It's neither.
What about here, Erica?
You're ruining the show, you idiot.
What do you mean? It's me, Dusty.
You're not.
Yeah, you're right. This is ridiculous.
Tammy, wait!
Later, loser.
But anywhere else it makes sense.
There goes another runner.
Brad was so much better for you. You should have gone with Brad.
Yeah, Brad.
Are you serious?
Why not make more of those cars electric?
It's the least they can do. Gordon, you kill me. I mean, you literally did kill me. You know what? I'm glad you bit me, too.
You know the rules. No shrinking and drinking.
Not a problem, Hank. Alcohol free. Guys, come on. It's my last one.
You're never gonna finish that. Your eyes are bigger than your thorax. Good luck.
The Peppadew Pepper on Panera's new Green Goddess Caprese Melt. It's a small detail, but when enough of those details are melted together, they become big. Try the new toasted baguettes from Panera. $0 delivery fee for a limited time.
Well, it's that time of year, Tim. We talk about who's the best or who we think is the best, and obviously we have some talented coaches. It's always a hard thing to judge and a hard thing that you have to make a decision on. But listen, I gave my 2 cents, and the fact that you've given me an opportunity to give my 2 cents is, I think, in itself a miracle. But we will start with Bryce Hopkins as my player of the year. I will say Tyler Kolek, I know there's going to be some questions. Maybe he's also in that. I would say he's 1B to Bryce Hopkins 1A. Coach of the Year, Shaka Smart, could be the national coach of the year, in my opinion. Devin Carter, you've seen today, he's been an offensive stalwart, but defensively, it's just what leads that team, Friars team. And Alex Caravan, I know Cam Whitmore, again, is one of those special players as a freshman in this conference, but I am on the caravan, and I think that he's the next best thing in terms of what we've seen in a long time in terms of freshmen in this conference. And another important piece for UConn and where they're going to get to.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about that. As for National Coach of the Year, I'm going to throw out another name. I would agree with you as it relates to the conference that the Coach of the Year you got right.
Tang?
Yeah. No. He would be up there.
Not Jerome Tang?
But I think Chris Collins has done an incredible job at Northwestern. Bynum knocks down a triple. Think about it. He's got 5 road wins in the Big Ten. The only other team that has that, at least through this week, was Purdue.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're alone in second place in the Big Ten right now.
You know, you and I had this conversation kind of off air about Kolek, Player of the Year, about, coaches. I always I think about it as who's new, where they've been, where they've come from, and
who might be the most surprising.
Yes,
right?
and that's a huge thing for me when I judge that, and seeing where a guy like Bryce Hopkins came from Kentucky, 6 minutes a game or so, to where he is now. Kolek's been there.
Yep.
He's been comfortable. I think Chris Collins has been there. He's been comfortable. Jerome Tang, it's all new.
No,
so
you're right.
And I don't think you can go wrong with any of those.
Moore gets that one to go. Spears, who made that bucket a second ago, is now up to 20 points, 12 of them coming in this half, and the lead is back to 21 for the Friars. Carter picks up the foul on that overplay. That's the 4th team foul. The Hoyas will trigger it in their front court. Well, we've come to a time in the year when a lot of that we take stock of what's going on in other leagues. And those two conferences beyond the Big East, which I think the only thing that the Big East doesn't have that the Big 12 and Big 10 do is members. I mean, the Big East is deep in every respect. You see that one fall from downtown from Ozone. Another transfer out of North Augusta, South Carolina. But, the top 5 teams in the Big East Conference, we may not see a team on anything better than the 3 line at best, but all of them could make a run to the Final Four.
I agree.
Every one of them.
Yeah.
Hopkins up to just 6 points. It will look like a really porous performance for him, but look, he had to sit for 16 minutes of the first half. And he let his brother in take care of the job. Primo Spears off the bounce is as good as anyone you'll see. You could make a case that Georgetown could take their 5 and play one-on-one against the other 5. They could win a lot of games.
You're so right. They are very talented offensively, skilled, very skilled. But on the defensive end is really, we say it all the time, it's where you win championships, and where you win games.
And it's a game of chemistry, and it's got to be developed within the team concept. Carter for 3. Off the back iron, Moore trying to corral it, but instead it's Azuero that throws it out for Heath. Beautiful save on his part. Get it back to him. Goes for the alley-oop instead. Spears turns down his spot. Mazzone will take it. The iron unkind.
You're almost rooting for that ball to go in because of the effort that they made to get to that position, to get the right shot.
I'm still shocked that Spears didn't take that shot in the same location. Another one that's knocked away. Another turnover committed by the Friars here. As Aguero in traffic, too strong. Moore impacted that. Threat of a rejection impacted that missed bunny for Georgetown. And we touched on the situation that we're facing here in the second half for the Hoyas on this senior day, their last home game of the year. You touched on what needs to be done, and so many in this administration around the campus. I think a good showing by the fans here, without question. But as of this week, there are some published reports about high-profile names being in the sights of the Georgetown administration for the future. We'll have to see. Locke was a nice fall away for the Friars.
As a player, you just play. You hear of recruits and guys coming in the next year, and always reports of different players. As a player, you just got to play basketball.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't worry about what's going on upstairs, as we like to say.
It's the world we live in today.
Play the game, man. It's enough for these kids to have to deal with classes and travel, and they are young men. Even though they look like grown men, some of them, they are still young men that deal with things that 18, 19, 20-year-olds deal with.
Azuero will be at the line when we come back after the timeout. Providence in control, 80-61.
My dad went EV.
It's electric. Don't be shocked.
The guy who's eternally locked out of his email is going EV. Nice car.
It's an EV. Rhymes with Kev.
You think they don't charge fast enough or go far enough.
Up to 80% charge in 18 minutes. Range? Heck, we could go to Mexico.
You Kevin Bacon?
Blue or red? I can also make it play nature sounds if you want.
Introducing the all-electric Hyundai Ioniq 6 with up to 360-mile range. When it comes to EVs, we're thinking of every mile.
Look at that freshly sliced turkey. At Jersey Mike's, there's some things you just gotta see. Like those lovebirds over there. That's deep eating. Sliced right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
Introducing Astapro Allergy. Steroid-free allergy relief that starts working in 30 minutes, while other allergy sprays take hours. Now with Astapro Fast Allergy Relief, you can Astapro and go.
Get ready for the best St. Patrick's Day of your life. Meet old friends and new ones. Feast like family. Toast like royalty. To guys with beards and guys with James beards. Root for your favorite team in your favorite pub. Bake bread for the hell of it. Start a business for the love of it. Singing like no one's watching. Even louder than our bagpipers. Because life rewards the brave and Guinness is for the bold. This St. Patrick's Day is for everyone.
Break free from overpriced wireless with Boost Mobile. Switch to Boost and get a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone with the power of America's largest 5G networks. Switch to Boost and get a free Samsung Galaxy A23 phone. Boost Mobile. Unleash your power.
Every time you order a hot sub from Jersey Mike's, it's grilled fresh. I call it dinner and a show. Look at that sizzle. Grilled right in front of you. The Jersey Mike's thing.
Coming up next, the NASCAR Cup Series roars into Fontana for the final race on the 2-mile oval. Will Kyle Larson repeat, or will a new West Coast King be crowned? The engines fire up. Next, here on Fox.
Tim, we were talking about dinosaurs earlier.
Yeah.
And extinct and all that.
Right.
Well, tomorrow, my dinosaur is a little bit more extinct. Tomorrow is Tim Brando's birthday.
Oh, God.
If you people at home, when he lied to all of you and said that's not his, don't try to hand it back to our stage manager, Danielle. That's your mirror. That's every game.
Oh, what a setup.
Mr. Brando.
What a setup.
But I won't see you tomorrow, so happy birthday, Timmy.
Thank you, pal. You'll be picking up the tab.
Of course I will.
Tuesday.
Yes. We all do. It's nothing new.
Just remember, when you're all alone on the road, you still have your mirror.
That's it. You know how we talk about games, and you and I have had these conversations about unwritten rules in basketball?
Yes.
It's an unwritten rule that you pay for Timmy's drinks and dinner and mirrors and everything else. Oh.
Except when it's really expensive, then I pick it up, right? Thank you.
Radio silence. No comment. No comment. But happy birthday.
Thank you, pal. Yeah. It's the 18th anniversary of my 49th birthday.
There you go. Oh.
How do I do it? Makeup and just for men. Thank you, Terry, Tiffany,
don't give
and
your
Tara.
secrets away. Oh, man.
Hopkins has it deflected. Here come the Hoyas the other way. Tell you, I've got some heroes that are out there that are in our business and still doing it. There's Croswell. There's a quick foul. Right across the way from us is Rich Spotkin, who has been calling Georgetown games. He is closing out the regular season of his 49th year.
Wow.
As the voice of the Hoyas. As a daughter, a Pam that's in the business, by the way, in our business, television, and a devout Georgetown Hoya. He's seen it all. And you know that it's been really tough since that Big East tournament in 21 when you've only had a chance to call 2 conference victories. But he never comes into an arena without coming over to say hello.
Every game.
And I can ask him what's
Wonderful.
the latest.
Yep.
And he will give me the latest spiel. on Georgetown. Wonderful man.
He really is. Yeah, he let it all hang out in that first win this season, too.
Yes, he did.
I think I don't know how many they lost in a row, but
the countdown was pretty incredible.
It really was.
It was a great call. Nice pass. Beautifully done. See, he delivered a dime that was a Sunday best dish on Sunday right to a cook. And it's 80-64. Boy, Spears is hard to shake, isn't he? Croswell will just take the three. Almost went down, and look at Carter fight for it. I mean, that's what Ed Cooley wants to see right there.
Yep.
No matter the score. And Heath turns it over. And Carter will be on the receiving end. And every time we've seen that through the course of this game, and looks like Ed's going to call off the Dogs here and get some reinforcements out there. In the first half, Georgetown gets to a quick lead, 24-5 run to get that lead. They lead by 16. But then comes a big-time answer, and Croswell was really keying all of those answers that Providence had to Georgetown runs.
Yeah, there really isn't a lot you can say that Ed Cooley's not going to like about what he's done today at Croswell. Maybe the last three-pointer.
Yeah.
But you got to ignore that because of what he gave you all day long. Here showing you a little shake and bake, but, you know, we don't talk about it a lot, but, you know, in terms of stock, you know, your professional stock, boy, Ed Croswell has elevated, not just today, but all season long. His leadership, skill, how hard he plays, his attention to detail. Can't say enough great things about that young man and the season he's had.
All smiles, no doubt about that. Castro in traffic. Can't get it to go. Got a couple offensive rebounds out of it. So the lead was 19 at the half. Heath can't connect. But here come the Hoyas with a beautiful run. All right, they cut it to 10, 4 minutes into the half, and then bingo. Providence comes back with an 18-1 run.
You saw that against St. John's as well. There was a huge deficit.
Right.
Georgetown fights back, and they've done it a lot this season. They've run out of gas, you know. A lot of minutes. The starters, heavy minutes most of the season, and it's nature. You run out of steam when you're playing a ton of minutes and you're fighting an uphill battle to try to get back into a game.
Corey Floyd getting that slam. And now he's joined by Pierre, Moore, and Breed. They'll come back onto the deck. The Hoyas getting as many as their reinforcements as they can in there. The freshman Denver Anglin is checking in. The lead is up to 18. The zone just willed it through there. That showed some strength. Playing hard, trying to get yet another turnover. Wayne Bristol.
Using that pivot.
You and I will be in Providence next week to close out the regular season in the Big East. And I got to suggest to you that will and energy and enthusiasm and playing hard and just getting ready for the tournament. I don't know there's any coach that's more ready for it than Ed Cooley. As Breed gets that runner to fall. They are a dangerous team, and he can always play that lack of respect national card.
Oh, yeah.
And he'll always do it.
And they're a team that beginning of the year you talk to Ed, and even in the summer says, I'm just not sure what we're going to have. I don't know, but they'll have that will that you talked about. Well, now they have the will and the skill, as we've seen today, to really do some special things in the postseason.
So I get to see you again on Tuesday, huh? We're together again on Tuesday.
Well, you need someone to carry your bag, so I know you don't carry your own bag. You don't buy drinks, you don't buy dinner, and you don't carry your own bag, so I gotta carry you.
I look forward to seeing it. Seton Hall, you know, Shaheen Holloway was on the bubble. He's fallen off with his team. They need to get Canary Richmond back. We may have a good one on Tuesday night. But always a lot of fun, my friend. Enjoyed it, brother.
Happy birthday tomorrow, Timmy.
Thank you, pal. Congratulations to the Friars as they move to 21-8, 13-5 in the Big East. That'll do it for us. Our thanks to Joe Williams and Dustin Zinti, our entire crew in Los Angeles. For Donnie Marshall, this is Tim Brando saying coming up next, it's NASCAR Cup Series racing from Fontana, California.